Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Big Sur OS11. Well, now 11.1. We just got a almost 3 gig download update that who knows how big it expands. Good, bad, and the ugly. Alright, so on the good note, I love the new interface. And I really love the widgets area. I like this area as well. I can do stuff in here, just ding 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 real quick, especially with my display brightness. I can change it up and down, whatever I want to do kind of thing. Of course, I've put my icon to eject CDs. I do have an Apple SuperDrive attached. My Wi-Fi area, of course, is nice. Bluetooth, this is cool up here. I like having that up there. I don't remember if the last OS did this in Catalina, but even if it did, this still looks presented a lot nicer, which is nice. This is a third-party program called Max Fan Control. I recommend this to any Mac user that has a fan in their laptop or their desktop system, because this helps you to keep an eye on core temperatures of your processor, your RAM, your video card, your LCD display, as well as any hard drives attached, okay, that are supported. Not all hard drives will be supported. I know my Tera drive is, I just have to set it up. And it would be in the list as well. But it tells you where your temperatures are sitting. Now you can have the value in Celsius or Fahrenheit, depending if you're Canadian or American, or if you don't even care and you just prefer Celsius, even if you're an American, who cares? Put it any way you like. But that's cool stuff. 3D-ish icon. It actually looks like a hard drive. That is sick. This actually presents itself nicer. It's nice, brilliant gold, nicer, kind of like a glossy finish, really, because it was kind of like flat and a little wider, and now it's so much nicer looking. Even the folders inside, much nicer layout. They look more robust, more in-your-face kind of thing, and the titling is nice. I like that. That's really cool. Plus the access to the side menus. In any of your drives as well, including all my files. There's been a couple little icon changes here and there that presents the icons better. Now, there is a couple of things that I really annoy me, other than the QuickTime thing disappearing on me. Minecraft can sometimes be a little bit of an annoyance. Now, of course, I'm going to quit this and we're going to go offline, because I don't like playing that online. I can't afford the bandwidth. So some programs, well actually all your programs when you initially boot your computer are going to take almost forever to launch, but the next time you launch them they're almost instant, which is kind of nice. Now I'm not running Optifine on my Mac with this game, only because it takes forever to load when you're using Optifine. Now you may get a one-click deal go on, and you'll find out generally it might take you 2 clicks of your mouse to launch into the game like this, but you'll know for sure if it worked, and it did work this time, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to double click to get your stone to pound, right? So when you're clearing out some stuff here like this, one click, one click, one click, one click. Sometimes when I load the game it'll take 2 clicks to get that to work. So when that happens, I actually have to quit the game, restart, and try again. And sometimes it'll take you 2 or 3 tries, other times it'll just be 1 retry and you'll be fine. Now Minecraft does run really well on this Mac, okay, even with 8 gigs of RAM. But you'll notice it's drawing as we're going closer. It doesn't draw a whole lot in one shot. It's a little sluggy in that sense, but that has to do more with Big Sur than it does with, well actually more with my computer than anything. This computer has 8 gigs of RAM in it right now and a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM mechanical hard drive, so not an SSD obviously. Big Sur swallows the majority of your 8 gigs of RAM, so if all you have is a base level stock computer from Apple, if you can upgrade the RAM in your computer, like iMacs, you definitely can. Older generation MacBooks, you can upgrade RAM and hard drive in that are supported for Big Sur, and the newer laptops from Apple, you could no longer upgrade RAM, but you could the hard drives. And now you can't do anything Okay, so you got to be very careful buying a brand new Mac right now. Make sure that you order it with minimum of 16 gigs of RAM for a laptop, because the majority of the laptops, of course, they only max to 16. You're going to want that 16 gigs of RAM, okay? It makes a difference in surfing, it makes a difference in launching software, it makes a difference in boot times, how your software is up and running at the time. When you're running the software, how smooth and well it's going to work without glitches. You're going to need a minimum of 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, or if you're a laptop person, you're going to be maxed at 16, so that's the way it goes. Unless you get a high enough laptop from Apple that actually supports higher. But either way, if you have an iMac or a Mac Pro Tower type of thing, you can still upgrade the RAM. I've ordered in a 16 gig upgrade for this, so I'll be at 24 gigs. My last Mac was 16 gigs, but my late 2013 iMac was not supported by Big Sur from Apple. Which is why I had to replace my machine. And my initial replacement machine was a MacBook Air, which ended up sucking really bad, for my purposes anyways, in the end result. So I ditched it and I found this online and picked this up for $1,000, and it's a late 2015. And I'm quite happy with this computer. It is flippin' awesome. I like the extra features of the mirroring and all that you can do. It's quick and easy to do. You know, shoot stuff out to your iPad. Connecting multiple screens is not a hassle if you wanted to do that as well. The resolution on this is actually twice the resolution of the late 2013 iMac. Mind you, we also now have a Retina 5K display too, so that really helps a lot with that, right? Definitely a really nice computer, but also the operating system is very nice. I really do like it. But, you know, you do have those good points. You do have some bad points of being a little sluggy if you're a stock machine. So if you want to get some actual speed and performance out of your Mac with Big Sur, you definitely are going to have to upgrade your RAM. Like I said, 16 gigs of RAM you should be just fine with. But if you can get more, go more. The more memory you can free up for programs to run better with, the better it's going to be, and you will stay away from the virtual memory area. Virtual memory is spooling your hard drive for empty space and using it as RAM. And that slows you down because your programs are also running off of there too. So that can slug your computer down. And PC world, it's the same thing. At least in the PC world, once we get enough hardware memory in there, we can actually shut off virtual memory and not go near the hard drive. With Apple, we used to be able to turn it on and off, but now we can't. We're stuck with it on all the time, but at least it only goes after the hard drive if it needs to. You know, kind of like the processors, we have base core clock frequencies, and then we have maximum frequency, and it'll only get demanded if the software requires more than what your base clock is. It will turn on the turbo boost and kick you up so that you can have those maximum speeds. Anyways, iMovie is pretty much the same, even though they've got updates. I haven't seen anything really that different about iMovie. The icon representation, I really like that a lot. Now, the worst possible part of the entire world of experience of Big Sur is going to be kind of like this. Number one, it chews a lot of RAM. Number two, it chews a boatload of hard drive space. The main OS11 that was released chews about 53 gigs. Now that's with iMovie installed, with QuickTime, GarageBand, all that stuff, right? Now QuickTime, of course, if you're reloading your Mac for the first time, or you're updating from Catalina to Big Sur, you are going to still have to replace GarageBand, because GarageBand from Catalina will not work under Big Sur, right? So it's kind of like, you know, so you're going to have to upgrade that. iMovie will also have to be upgraded as well, so you will have some updates to do. If you install all the possible sounds that Apple currently has in their collection for GarageBand, that's part of that 53 gig, okay, that it's going to swallow up. So now when it comes to 11.1 update, that was almost a 3 gigabyte download in itself. How big that expanded, I don't know, but probably pushing close to 60 gig now. So if you have a a laptop from Apple, for example, that only has a 250 gig hard drive in it, well, guess what? You have it in your possession. You cannot upgrade that hard drive unless you have a Mac notebook or a laptop that has upgradability. All the new laptops do not. So you buy all the new laptops, they are base set up in the big box stores and wherever you buy them off the shelf, they're set up as 8 by 256. So 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig hard drive. 256 gig hard drive is not enough. Not for the lifespan of what Big Sur is going to be doing. And of course, Apple's going to be updating, and your programs need to go in, and you need to update your programs too. So a quarter of a terabyte, basically, or half a terabyte, right? So 256 gig, not enough space. Which is another thing I was considering too with that MacBook Air too. Is even if the rest of it worked out, after seeing what Big Sur did to that hard drive, I'm like, I'm down to 196 gigs. I haven't even put any of my software in yet, you know. And this was previous to the 11.1 update, right? I'm like, man, this is not good. So now, if you're buying a brand new laptop from Apple, custom order it. Have them max the RAM to 16 gigs. It's going to cost you extra. Have them max out the hard drive if you want that kind of space. Because you can go up to 2 terabyte with brand new Mac laptops. Not all of them, but most of them, I think. But certainly a half a terabyte is way better than a quarter of a terabyte. And a half a terabyte for general users should more than last the lifespan of your laptop. But terabyte would probably be the best way to go. As far as your iMacs and Mac Pro Towers, your regular desktop systems from Apple, we can still upgrade RAM, we can still upgrade hard drives ourselves if we want to, that sort of thing for now, okay? Give them time, they'll find a way to yank that away. But I've got a 1 terabyte drive, which is fine. I've got 8 gigs of RAM, so I am upgrading the RAM and the hard drive because I want to go SSD. And there's nothing faster than SSD right now, so hey, let's go SSD. The computer will like boot in milliseconds instead of minutes. You know, programs will run smoother and faster with more RAM because 8 gigs ain't enough. I think 16 gigs will be sufficient, but I am going to have 24 in this thing. My last iMac, which was late 2013, it did not qualify for Big Sur, but it did with Catalina, and with 16 gigs of RAM, it was more than enough, okay? And of course, we chewed up a heck of a lot less hard drive space. I think it was somewhere around 23 gigs for Catalina, somewhere around there. So we've had a massive refinish work on Big Sur, which is really swallowing our hard drives up massively. So you're going to need a big hard drive in there, guys, because the average lifespan of a Mac back in the day used to be 10 years, right? Well, now it's cut down to about 7, because actually less than 7, because my late 2013 iMac was technically 6+ years old as far as production goes. As far as when I bought it brand new, that was only 4 years ago, and that was a lot of money. And that's where the next problem comes into now, is with all these other Macs that are now unsupported. That's dropping the bottom out of their prices for holding value. Macs generally will hold their value really super well, but with what Big Sur is doing, and anytime you get a mass OS, like even Catalina, computers that couldn't run Catalina, the bottom dropped out. Well, now a whole mass load of computers since Big Sur, the bottom is dropping out on the retail prices for selling your old equipment used. Even something like this that's already 4.5 years old, because it's a late 2015. The retail on this right now, refurbished from Best Buy, you're looking at, you know, close to $1,800. Right now it's on sale for $1,500. I paid $1,000 private deal. You know, so I got a really good deal for a private deal, but of course no warranty, right? At least buying it as a refurbished new unit, you're going to get a 1-year warranty through Apple with that, even buying it through Best Buy. But the value is still up on this machine now. But when they do another mass update that this thing can't run, the bottom will drop out, just like it did on my late 2013 iMac. You know, a few months ago, before the release, it was still worth, you know, $1,200, $1,300. You know, easy money, like real easy money. I had to let it go for 600 bucks. I couldn't even give it away for 8. So yeah, the bottom's really dropping on the older machines, which kind of sucks. Now, what is the worst part about Big Sur? Well, any of you who are fed up with Apple and their slow Wi-Fi cards like I am, because they really need to up their game on that because they've not done anything about that. We like to use external stuff. This is a USB dongle by Foscomax. I've had these on my channel, done reviews on them. They are beautiful. Okay, they work awesome, and they double the speed easily of even the built-in. Okay, now it's rated up to 1200 megabits per second, but that depends upon your internet connection type, how your router operates, how close you are to a tower if you're on cellular data like we are, that sort of thing. Okay. This one gives me 300 megabits per second to my router. The built-in network card on this at 5 gigahertz gives me 150 megabits per second, or about half that on 2.4. Where this thing is about 150 megabits on 2.4 and it's 300 on the 5 gigahertz, right? Problem is, it won't work now under Catalina, and neither are any other dongles. Whether they're name brand by D-Link or Linksys, doesn't matter. None of them are operating apparently right now, and there's a big thing about that all over the internet. So now we're waiting for companies to write new drivers who have had already an easy year to prep for the release of Big Sur, and they all dropped the ball. All of them, you know. So I'm going to have to email Foscomax myself and say, hey, are you going to write a new driver for this thing to support Big Sur? Because, yeah, I like your card, your adapter, but I can't run it on Big Sur. The software won't even install. And to go out and buy a new one right now, everything that even Best Buy is selling or Amazon is selling is all stuff that's only good to Catalina. Okay? So they aren't prepped for this either. So Lord knows how long it's going to take for them to get all this mess straightened out, but hopefully soon, because I don't like the built-in network cards in Apple computers. I never have. I don't even like them in PCs. They suck, right? They're never fast enough. But that's what we have to deal with, folks. So anyways, that's where I'm at with this. That's my good, bad, and ugly. Other than that, I do actually love the OS. Stay tuned for more, though. I've got some RAM coming in for this thing, like I said. We're going to do some before and after testing as far as, you know, fire up time, load into something like Minecraft, see how long it takes, and then we'll do the upgrade to the RAM right away and see if there's much of a change. And then, of course, once I can order in an SSD drive, we will do a whole new video on how fast things really fly when you've got 24 gigs of RAM and an SSD drive in this puppy. You know, and it just so much, I know with my late 2013 iMac, it was a night and day difference. So we'll see how much things improve with this particular computer under Big Sur, which is a RAM processor and video hog and resource hog and hard drive space hog. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, got a lot out of it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and as always, I shall do the best I can to answer them. But you got to put your questions first in the comments below. Catch you on the next one. Later.